I'll be honest with you, I never expected a chessboard would change my life, or anyone else's. But there I was, 8 years old, nose pressed against the frosty window of a car I didn't belong in, watching my mom smooth down her hair, trying to look like someone who didn't clean houses for a living. I remember her voice, soft but firm. Stay quiet, Zara, and don't touch anything. But you know how it goes. Curiosity gets you every time. The moment we stepped into that mansion, it felt like walking into another universe. Chandeliers like waterfalls, marble floors so shiny you could see the whole world staring back at you. And then, in the library, I saw it. A chess set that looked more like treasure than a game. Golden kings, silver queens, pawns standing guard like little warriors. I'd seen chess in school, sure, but never like this that I was staring so hard. I almost didn't hear him come in. "You like chess?" said this tall man with kind blue eyes and hair the color of old winter. Harrison Blake, the billionaire, the guy my mom worked for. I nearly jumped out of my skin. "Sorry, sir, I wasn't touching, just looking." But he smiled, warm, not fake. "Would you like to learn?" he asked. I mean, what do you even say to that? Next thing I know, I'm sitting across from the man himself, with my mom watching from the doorway like she's expecting security to burst in any second. But Mr. Blake just starts explaining the pieces, and I get it, like I've always known the rules somehow, like it's a secret language he's reminding me of. The first game, I lost, of course. But I almost trapped his king, and something flickered in his eyes. Not just surprise, but something deeper, almost like looking at a picture you forgot you took. He asked me to come back the next day. I said yes so fast I almost forgot to breathe. That night, I couldn't sleep, just lay there picturing those gold and silver pieces dancing in my head. My mom was quiet, too quiet, sitting up late with an old shoe box full of letters and pictures. I caught a glimpse, her, years younger, standing next to a man with the same eyes as Mr. Blake. But when I asked, she shut the box and told me to go to bed. You know that feeling? When you know something big is happening, but no one will say it out loud? Anyway, school was a blur the next day. Math, reading, I barely heard any of it. I just wanted to get back to that library, to the game that felt like it was meant for me. And Mr. Blake, he was waiting, chess set already set up, looking like he'd been thinking about that first game all night. This time I played better. Saw moves coming, built little traps, started to understand why the pieces moved the way they did. He watched me closely, like he was searching for something in my face. After a week, I started winning. He laughed, proud and a little shocked. I was hooked, but let me back up a sec, because here's where things get strange. One afternoon, Dr. Chen showed up. Best chess teacher in the country. World champions owed their titles to her. Mr. Blake wanted her to see me play, and I felt butterflies the size of helicopters in my stomach. She smiled, polite, but sizing me up like I was some kind of experiment. We played, and I beat her. Twice. She kept showing me puzzles. Hard ones, the kind that made grown men sweat. I solved them, one after another. Dr. Chin pulled Mr. Blake aside, whispered, "She's special. I've never seen talent like this." I tried not to listen, but every word felt like thunder. And then there was my mom, standing in the doorway, hands shaking that you'd think winning at chess would be the twist. But no, the real twist was family. There was a photograph, my mom and Mr. Blake, young and happy. And then, late one night, they sat me down in a hotel room before my first big tournament and told me the truth. Mr. Blake wasn't just my chess mentor. He was my dad. My real dad. Turns out, he'd been searching for us for years. My mom left because she wanted me to have a normal life, not one with cameras and reporters and people always judging. But life has a way of shoving the truth right in your face when you're least expecting it. And honestly, it made sense. Those eyes, that feeling when we played chess together, like we'd been doing it forever. The tournament was wild. Kids from everywhere, some twice my age, all with coaches and fancy gear. My first opponent was a cocky 12-year-old who called me a baby. Yeah, that happened. But on the board, I made my pieces dance. Checkmate. By the finals, the whole room was watching. My mom and Mr. Blake, my dad, sat together in the audience, finally, and I felt like the luckiest kid in the world. My last opponent was a 16-year-old champion, tall, serious, everyone expecting him to win. But when the moment came, I saw a combination, risky, bold, but clear as day in my mind. I took it. 3 moves later, checkmate. The crowd went wild. Reporters rushed in, flashbulbs popping. And in the chaos, I only wanted one thing: to see my family, finally together, cheering just for me. After the tournament, life changed overnight. Reporters, sponsors, invitations from all over. But my mom and dad, yeah, calling him dad, got easier every day, decided to keep me in regular school. I still hung out with my best friend Emma, taught half the third grade to play chess, and learned to love my ordinary life as much as the victories. Dr. Chun and even a world champion came to visit, each saying the same thing: don't lose the fun. Don't let anyone take away your joy. And I took that to heart that we started a chess club at school. I convinced a toy company to donate sets to kids who couldn't afford them. Fridays became my favorite day of the week. Dozens of kids, laughing, losing, learning, just like me. Even at home, we made up family chess, everyone on the same side, solving puzzles together, no winners or losers, just us, figuring out how to move through life, one careful step at a time. Sometimes I'd beat Dad, sometimes he'd beat me. Okay, usually I let him win, but don't tell him that 6 months later, things weren't perfect, but they were ours. We had arguments, late-night talks, even some tears, but we always came back to the chessboard, always found our way home. I learned that being a champion wasn't about trophies or money or headlines. It was about family, real, messy, brave, and fiercely loving. So yeah, my story started with a chess game in a stranger's mansion. Now, I have a dad, a mom, friends, a passion I can share, and a home filled with laughter and strategy. And maybe, just maybe, the best moves in life are the ones you don't see coming. What do you think? Does winning really mean being first, or is it finding your place and your people? Tell me in the comments, because everyone's got their own game to play, and I want to hear yours. That if this story made you feel something, hit like and share it with someone who needs a little hope. And don't forget to drop your thoughts below. Whose move is it next, and what would you do? After the tournament, you'd think everything would settle down. You win a big trophy. You hug your mom and dad in a hotel lobby under those blinding lights. People clap and take pictures. Then you go home and life goes back to normal, right? Except, nothing about our new life was normal anymore. Let me tell you, fame is a funny thing. One day you're just some kid at Lincoln Elementary. The next, you're getting letters from strangers asking for your autograph, and people at the grocery store whisper when you walk by. At first, it was kind of fun. My picture in the local paper, my story on TV, free chess sets piling up in our little apartment. But pretty soon, I realized there's a price for all that applause. Mom went back to working as Dad's assistant, which should have been great, but it made things complicated. She'd come home tired, sometimes worried, her smile a little less bright than it used to be. Dad was trying so hard. He brought flowers, made dinner, even learned how to braid my hair from YouTube. Some nights, we all laughed so much it hurt. Other nights, the tension was so thick I swear you could cut it with a pawn. Sometimes, I wondered if we were playing our own family chess match. 3 players, still figuring out whose turn it was to move, and what the rules even were. School changed, too. My friends, well, most of them, were happy for me. Emma stuck by me no matter what, teasing me when reporters tried to follow us home. Act normal. Chess superstar. But a few kids started calling me chess queen. Not as a compliment. It stung, you know? Like, one minute you're the shy kid, the next, everyone has an opinion about your life. I started dreading lunch, started skipping the playground some days, just to avoid the whispers. You ever wish you could just disappear for a while? Yeah, me too. And then, as if that wasn't enough, Dr. Chun called with big news. There's a national invitation for young chess champions, she said. You're on the list. It's in New York. TV coverage, famous grandmasters. This is huge. Dad was over the moon. Mom, not so much. The night before we had to decide, they argued in the kitchen while they thought I was asleep. She's just a child, Harrison. She needs a normal life. Friends. Privacy. But she's got a gift, Maria. We can't hold her back because we're scared. What about what she wants? I heard a chair scrape. Have we even asked her that? That was the twist nobody saw coming. Because the next morning, instead of pushing me to say yes, my parents sat me down. No lectures, no pressure. Zara, Mom said, you don't have to go. You can say no. I looked at both of them, saw how much they cared, how hard they were both trying not to break the new family we'd just found. And I realized something. Being a champion is great, but being understood, being trusted, that's everything. So I said, can I think about it? They both nodded. No chessboard, no checkmate, just a decision only I could make. So, for the first time, I tried to listen to my own voice, not just theirs. I played chess in my head at night, thought about Emma, about the other kids in my club, about what I wanted. And you know what? I wanted to play in New York, but on my terms. I didn't want to be just the next prodigy. I wanted to be a kid, too, to have days off, ice cream runs, sleepovers, and mistakes. I wanted to play for fun, for joy, not because the world said I had to. The day I told my parents, I was shaking. I want to go, I said, but I don't want cameras in my face every second, and I want to spend as much time exploring New York as playing chess. Dad laughed, relieved, I think, and Mom hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. Deal, they said together. And just like that, it felt like we'd all won something bigger than any trophy. So, we packed our bags, me, Mom, Dad, and a suitcase full of hopes and nerves. New York was everything I'd imagined and more. Skyscrapers, endless noise, pizza on every corner, chess hustlers in the parks. At the tournament, the pressure was wild. Kids from Russia, China, all over, some with parents barking instructions, others silent and cold. But I remembered Grandmaster Petrov's words. Play with joy, not pressure. My first game, I lost. Yeah, you heard me. The chess genius lost in round 1. I could hear the whispers. Maybe she's just a fluke, too young for this level. For a minute, I wanted to run away, hide in the bathroom and cry. But Mom found me, sat with me on a bench, and said, losing doesn't change who you are, Zara. It just means you get to try again. So I wiped my tears, came back, and played my heart out. Won my second game, drew my third, started smiling again. Even made friends with a boy from India who could solve a Rubik's Cube in 17 seconds flat. By the final round, I knew something for sure. Chess would always be part of me. But it wasn't all of me. That we didn't win the whole thing. But that trip gave me something bigger. Confidence, courage, a sense of belonging that no title could buy. And on our last night, eating pizza on a hotel rooftop, looking out at the city lights, I realized my family had changed, too. We were closer now, stronger. We'd stopped playing against each other and started playing for each other. You know what I mean? Sometimes, the game that matters most isn't the one with kings and queens, but the one where you fight for each other, for understanding, for love. So here's my question for you. If you could win any game, but had to lose yourself to do it, would you still play? Or would you find your own way to win? Drop your answers below. And hey, if you ever end up in New York, look for the girl playing chess in the park. Maybe I'll be there, and we'll play a game, just for fun. If you felt something from this story, give it a share, tell your story in the comments. And remember, you don't have to be a champion to make your move. You just have to be brave enough to try.